Everybody, what's going on? Phenomenal financial freedom. Come in the room. Let me make sure I share with the group. All right, all right, all right, all right. It's the final Wednesday, winning Wednesday of the year. Final winning Wednesday of the year. And as I normally do, gotta promote my book, Phenomenal STEMist. Yep, how to create a phenomenal STEMist, how to create a successful student from the womb to the university. Of course, it's on Amazon, but if you want one directly from me, you can get it from me if you live in the Orlando area. Or you can go on my website and then just click the link. It'll take you straight to Amazon. All right. Well, let's jump right into it. We're talking about the last three of the 15 goals for financial success for 2022. 15 goals. We've been doing this for 5 weeks. I've been doing 3 goals each. Thanks for those of you who stuck with me. Whoever's with me, just give me a shout. I see you watching. But yeah, number 13. 3 more. 13, 14, 15. 3 more. Um, Sophie, what's going on? Good to see you. Good evening. Good to see you. I'm glad you're here again. We're gonna close out the new year with fire. I'm excited about today's conversation. I see a couple of people watching, like my mother. What's up, mom? How are you? How are you? Yeah, you made it again. Listen, tonight is gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire. Let's go. Let's jump right into it. Number 13 is save for your kids' future. Save for your kids' future. So, if you have children, it is important to think about what you plan for them in the future. There's so many people who are filled with great debt because they had to start over again. Every generation has to start fresh. Um, let's not do that for this year. Let's plan for our children's future. According to this mamaandmoney.com, they suggest a 529 or say special education savings account. Now, I'm not really a fan of 529 plans, even though they're tax deductible. I think there's a role for them. I think some 529s are too conservative, meaning like they force you um to put your children in certain schools, etc. I think there's a role for them, as I said before. If it's some people need this type of plan to help save, so there's a role for them. But just make sure you understand, the parameters in which you're saving. Also, another thing I really don't like is that your children lose out on financial aid if you have these kinds of plans. Some scholarships are based on need, and your child could have gotten a scholarship, but because you have too much money, they lose out on certain types of grants and aids. That's not a bad problem to have, but just consider that. Um, so like I I I am in the mindset of saving um while they're in college as well. Like you have to put yourself first, number 1. You have to save yourself first, meaning, when you're on the airplane, you got to put that gas chamber, whatever, oxygen mask on your face first before you um, put it on your child. So, you don't want to while you're in college, refinancing your home and taking out college loans, their parent plus loans, you know. So it would be better to like put away small amounts of money over time, and then they have a certain amount that you could start them off with, and then they take it from there. My mother, she gave, but I had to take out student loans. I had to take care of my um finances as well. And when I had that press, I felt the urge to get scholarships and things like that. So you want to you want to be in a place where you can afford to put your child through school, but then they also can help finance themselves. It's a delicate balance. What I will say though is it's not just about school. I feel like you want to generate generational wealth for them post school. I think too many times we're giving all our money to outside institutions and no wealth to our children. We're giving all this money to colleges and all this money to you know what I'm saying? But when they get out of school, they have nothing. I prefer it's like it's I don't have any children, so I'll take that with a grain of salt. Um, but I prefer a modest amount of savings for your child for college. Have them foot some of the bill for themselves to learn responsibility. Find ways to foot the bill and creative ways to foot the bill, like scholarships and grants and going to community college for the first 2 years and then going to find like and then you can build up while they're in college. Like, it doesn't end. And then you can give them help them with a down payment for their first condo or townhome or like, I want you to increase generational wealth for them outside of outside institutions. So when I say save for your kids' future, I'm going even past education. I think we spend too much money on education, and it fills the pockets of other people, and not necessarily builds wealth for our children. And you're talking to like one of the most educated people in the world, right? I have a PhD. Like, only people like 2% of this world has that. So I'm not saying there's a wrong for education, but my mom didn't foot my educational bill. I had to find ways to make sure that I was in school for free and etc. But she still instilled in me the concept of money. My grandmother still left me money. You know, when my grandmother died, she left money for me. Um, Things like that. So wealth was passed on, and I used that money, and I was able, a part of my success is not coming from me. A part of it is coming from my grandmother leaving my mother money and my mother giving me that money. And there's a role for that, even if it's a little bit. All right? So, very important. Save for your kids' future. And I'm not even talking about schooling. Number 14, automate your finances. Automate your finances. What do I mean by that? I mean like all your bills go on autopilot, like auto draft. Here's the key thing: you got to be careful because some bills change, and if you go on autopilot, you may not know when prices go up. Classic example: internet bills, right? I have it on autopilot, but not really. I don't have them take money out of my bank account. I schedule payments from my bank to the companies. Like, I coordinate my bank and say, I want you to give this company this and this company that. That's still automated even though it's not auto draft. Like, I don't give permissions to company to just come in my bank and take my money. Why? Because I won't know when prices go up. Internet costs went from like $50 to $75. If I wasn't keeping in touch with that, I wouldn't be able to say, "Hey, wait a second. Like, nah, Dread, let me call this company and say, why is my bill going up?" That's right, bill pay. I like bill pay better than auto draft because when you go on auto draft, the prices go up and you don't notice. But when you go on bill pay, you're still keeping tabs of what the price. I still have to find out, okay, let me make sure, does it still cost this amount of money for my cable bill, this amount of money for my light bill, you know? I still know how much my energy bill costs, and then I can say, "Wait a second, Maya, turn that heat off. I know my Duke energy bill is gonna go crazy this." I don't like to be cold. I don't like to be cold, y'all, and so I had this heat on for the past 3 weeks. I know my bill. So when, it's it's automated, but it's still, I still am I'm aware. I'm aware. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's important. Things like my phone bill that are consistent, I have that on auto draft. My water bill, I have that on auto draft because they don't allow for it's not easy to do bill pay for that one, right? So, yeah, most banks have bill pay. That's right, Sophie. Most banks have bill pay and it's easy to set up. Easy, easy, easy. And when you have that bill pay and you just say, "Pay this every month," you know, it'll give you a it'll protect you from forgetting to pay your bills. And, my mortgage is auto draft because there's nothing I can do about that. That's gonna move up and down regardless of what I do. So I do give permission from the mortgage company to take money straight out of my bank. Um, but it's really helpful in making sure you don't forget bills. Um, Number 2, you're really keen on your budget, like, you're paying attention, and that's so key with auto draft and automating. You have to start paying attention to your budget. See what somebody has to say. I pay all my bills the same time. That means when the first bill is due, um, all the bills are due. That's right. I like to look at bills and see trends, so I haven't set it up automatically. Exactly. So that's me. That's me. With the exception of my mortgage, that's me too. And my phone bill. I like to see trends. I change my behavior with those trends. I change my behavior, but you won't find me missing bills. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of these banks, like you said, they have graphs on their websites now where they show you your trends. And of course, my favorite Mint.com show me my trends. So it's one thing else I wanted to say about automate your finances. But it skipped me, so I'm gonna move on. But that's number 14. Shout out to everybody who's watching from Facebook and YouTube. Remember to subscribe to my channel on YouTube. And this Sunday coming, I'm gonna have a guest speaker for Phenomenal STEMist. He's gonna be talking about how to become a cloud architect. He's a tech guy. Excited about the new year and the people who are gonna be speaking. But Phenomenal STEMist at 4 p.m. this Sunday. Okay. Lastly, sorry. I have invest in financial education. Invest in financial listen. All of you who are on Phenomenal Financial Freedom already know the benefits, and you're not investing at all. You're just investing some time by coming onto the group page and then just taking it seriously, taking time to watch these videos. And I really wanted to share with you um just just how I look past this year and how I know, it's been very effective just by educating yourself in the minimal, reading books, joining financial groups, right? So I'm going to show you this page right here, Phenomenal Financial Freedom. All of you know the page, the group, Phenomenal Financial Freedom. It costs nothing to join. I've been at this group for about maybe 10 years now. Maybe 10 years. I've had this group, and it's morphed into different words. I used to call it debt free group and phenomenal debt freedom group. And then I said, you know what? Forget just debt. This is not about debt. This is about, financial freedom, building generational wealth for our community. So, but it's the same purpose. You don't have to, in the 10 years that I've had this page, or the maybe less than 10 years, but I know seven, at least seven, a little more, probably more than seven. Um, you've never heard me ask for anything financially, right? So just investing time is what you need to watch the videos, to read the articles that I post, for you to post yourself things that you found intriguing. And I look at this group and I say, okay, this was Black Friday. I said, y'all scared? You see that? Y'all scared? Because the Dow closed down 900 points when the Omicron. I'm like, listen, y'all, listen. I don't, I don't care about the fears that we got to get to the point where we could see stuff coming. It's Black Friday. These are the deals you look for. Remember I said that? Look, now let's look at the Dow Jones. When I said buy, I was basically, don't be afraid. This is the time that you buy. That was a month ago. The Dow Jones average went down to 36,488. Way higher than when I was, the first video that I showed earlier today, right? I said, this is the deal that you've been waiting for. Now, if you had decided, I'm gonna hold my nose and get my index fund, get some money, not be afraid, you would have made 6% if you have a Dow Jones index fund. Or like me, I have a S&P 500, and it's the same, pretty much the same percent, between 5 and 6%. So let's say you said, I'm okay, I'm gonna buy some stock, or I'm gonna buy a stock, or I'm gonna buy my low cost index fund. I'm gonna put down $1,000. You'd have made 6% on that, right? 1% is what, $10? You would have made $60. Now it's like, oh, it's just $60, right? But it was $60 that you didn't have. And now that $1,000 is worth $1,060. You understand? Listen, I said to you guys, don't be afraid. All right. I look back at stuff that I've said in the past. I said this to you all the time. I say, listen, guys, the stock market is not as difficult as we think it is. Gotta hold our nose and invest till we're old. That's the goal. We're not gambling. I'm not into this buying and selling. I'm saying, listen, forecasts last year this time, forecasts were between 3,800 and 4,400 for the S&P 500. They're saying, listen, guys, the stock market pros are saying they're having a tough time imagining an S&P 500 slump in 2021. You got to look for yourself. I'm trying to get as much stuff that I can and put it in the group, but that means I had to go out and look. I had to go out and search. You understand? And so then I said, okay, well, 4,400. Let's see what it is. Let's see what it is. So the S&P 500 a year ago was 3,700. 3,700. So if, like Sophie says, you automate your investing and you bought, I don't really automate my investing. What I do is I have two types of investment strategies, Sophie. For one situation, I am more intentional. I'm in charge. Another situation, I have a robo investing. I really love that. Like, so, the robots, they are artificial intelligence. I just put the money in, and the robots, based on computer algorithms, they choose what to buy and sell, when to buy and sell. And it's been really good. So I just give money to that over a period of time, and the robots are in charge of that. Yeah, robo investing is no joke. I love it. I think people should do it. But I'm also in charge of another account where I'm, you know, watching the market. And so when I'm watching the market, I'm saying, okay, right now the stock market is at 40, almost 4,800. It surpassed what they said it would be. And so when it was 3,700, what was I doing? I was buying every month. And even if I don't buy every month, I put money into my stock market account every month and build up cash for when crashes happen. And over time, I usually buy a lot in the beginning of the year and then wait and see what happens over time. And look what happened, guys. The stock market went up way beyond what they thought. It went up. Look what it says. 29.52%. The stock market from a year ago till now is up 30%, guys. 30%. That means if you if you had if you put away $10,000, $6,000, remember I told you the Roth IRA, you only can put about $6,000. So if you put away $6,000 in the beginning of the year, that means by the end of the year this year, you would have made $1,800. If you put it in a S&P 500 low cost index fund, meaning they don't charge a lot of fees on your money. So whatever you put, you make most of the money. They charge very few fees. And now instead of having $6,000, you have $7,500, $7,800 now. Guys, and now the money that you have now will be compounded upon for next year. It may not go up a lot next year. I told you guys, it says they're looking at just a 5%, 4 to 5% increase. Right? But I'm not buying for this year. I'm buying for the years to come. Like the old video that I showed today that I posted 2 years ago, the Dow Jones was at 26,000. I don't know if you watched it. In 2019, I posted a video based on 2018 information. It was 26,000 at the time. Now, what did I say the Dow Jones is? The Dow Jones is now what? 36,000? Let me make sure. Right? 36,000. So over a 5-year period, if you've been investing in the stock market, over a 5-year period, we've been investing in the stock market for over 7 years with just me and you. So if you roll with me from the start and you say, Maya, I'm going to put $6,000 away every year, 84% increase. 84. And you see the steep drop? You see the steep drop? That was the COVID scare. March 2020. Remember the COVID scare? Remember the COVID scare? I said, don't be scared, y'all. We're talking about invest in financial education. When you educate yourself on the way the stock market works, the way the industry works, the way the economics work, you won't be frightened. I remember when Chase went down to like 80. I said, "You think I'm gonna let that?" I'm not afraid. I've been living just 40 years and I've seen the stock market go up and down. That's what it's made to do. And if you had a went crazy, look at the if you had bought here, you would have such a drastic increase. It went down to 21,000. But when you're educated on finances, you don't fear and you don't sell off everything and jump off a rooftop. You just keep, as Sophia says, automate that investing, make it a habit. Don't get scared. Don't cry. Bye. That's what I say. Don't cry. I remember one of my friends, "Oh my god, my 401k." I said, back in 2020, "Oh my god, my 401k." I said, "Don't cry. Bye." Yeah. What Sophia says. Yes, invest in gaining knowledge of finances and understanding money. Learn how to make your money work for you. Change your relationship with money. Save. Build generational wealth. Give. Give. That's right. Money is not a god. Money is a tool to be used. Money is a tool to be invested. Money is a tool to be given. It is not your god. And when things move up and down, no, that's the way of the world. It's the way of the world. I learned this from Warren Buffett. He's been living for 90 years. 90 years. 90 odd years. He lived through the Great Depression. He lived through the crashes of the 70s. He lived through the crashes of the 90s. He lived through the crash of 2000s. Like he's like, "Yeah, Sophie, don't cry. Don't cry. Bye." It's nothing to be afraid about. When it goes down, it's a sale. I say it all the time. Y'all get excited when y'all get 2 for 1 at Publix. Y'all get excited about the buy one, get one, the BOGO sales. Like, be excited the same way about stock market crashes. Hold your nose and don't go for today. Don't think about today. Just invest over time as you age. But you're not gonna know this until we were talking earlier today about Susie Orman and how so much some of what was it, Lisa? Said that she really loves Susie Orman and how much I said the same thing. She was the first person that taught me finances. I did not learn this from my parents. And that's the thing about our community. Our generation before us just don't know. So we can't be mad at them. So we got to learn for ourselves. But we cannot continue the pattern like this. We got to learn for ourselves and we realize it's not as difficult as you see. When you keep it simple, you won't get greedy. It's when you get greedy, that's when things, Kramer always says, bulls win. Those are the people who are risky. Bears win. Those are the people who are conservative. But pigs get slaughtered. When you're greedy like a pig, you just do stuff in greed and you always get slaughtered. Yeah. So, what can you do? Join this group. Those of you who are watching from my regular page, join Phenomenal Financial Freedom. Talk with other people. You know, join the stewardship department at the church and start doing faith and finance and other types of programs that really incorporate stewardship. Buy books. You just go on Google and say that what are the top 10 books on finance. When I was younger, I got Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I watch Susie Orman all the time. That's the type of I watched business channels all the time. You gotta teach yourself. You know, I now Udemy and all these Online courses, they call them MOOCs. There's so many free courses on economics. I took some classes, videos on free classes on what's the I can't remember the name of it. It's not Udemy, but it's the other one. WebEx, I think. No, no, not WebEx. WebEd, something like that. Free class on principles of economics. I didn't take it in college, so I went and did it for free. Sophia says, "I agree, Maya. We have to learn. We can teach the next generation. We have to do better than our parents. Absolutely, and help them where we can. Absolutely. The it's my purpose. I love like a lot of the people online are either my people, Generation X, or younger. That's used. Shout out to my mother, and other than my mother, but she's just supporting me because she's a supportive parent. But pretty much, yo, I've gotten messages down like messages from people who are in their 30s, just turning in their early 30s. They were in their 20s when they joined this group, and they're they're better than me. They're better. That's my goal. They're way ahead of me. When I was their age, I had a negative. When I was their age, I had a negative net worth. I look back at my Mint.com they profile. I've been on Mint.com for 10 years. 10 years, because last week I wasn't sure how long. It's exactly 10 years. I joined Mint July 2021, and I had a negative $4,000 net worth. Negative $4,000. There are people in this group who are 29, 30, 33. I was 33 at the time. I'm 43 now. I was 33. I had a negative $4,000. There are people in this group who are 33 years old with a positive net worth because I refuse to let the generations behind me be in the same situation. And it's not hard. It's not hard. It's not. And when I was in my early 20s, I guess I'm doing it so passionately now because it's not that I didn't want to learn in my early 20s. I would beg people. I'm like, "Teach me what you know." And nobody would teach me. Everybody was out, in my opinion, back in the days, and I think it's exponentially now, to make money off of their knowledge. Nah, Dread. And it's not a saying I don't make money off of my knowledge. For sure. I wrote a book and there's different things, but not everything. There's some things that you gotta give away in order to uplift the community, and this is definitely one for me. First of all, why would I pay for something that I taught myself? I'm not a professional in this. This is just a testimony. This is a testimony and then people behind me are better for it. Yeah, for sure. All right. There's a game called Cash Flow. Alright, Imma check it out. Imma check it out. I like that. Cash flow. Guys, let's make 2022 great. Let's make 2022 great. Let us, work our goals. You've seen I spent 5 weeks with you guys. It's been a pleasure, and I just know that if you work at it over time. I told you I had a negative network 10 years ago, and now my network has surpassed the median anybody. Any demographic, my net worth has passed the median in just 10 years. And so let's do it. Let's do it when we educate ourselves. That's the last goal. Educate yourself. Use the tools that I put on here, the Excel file spreadsheet, the videos, the articles, and search for yourself and share what you learn on this phenomenal financial freedom group. You guys have a happy, 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 happy new year. Oh, yeah, man. It's a blessing to share the knowledge. Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much for sharing. Shout out to Brandon. I know he's back there too. All the people who send me inboxes, all the people who show love through likes and loves. Of course, you can share this video. I appreciate you guys' support. I'm really excited to share the knowledge, and I just really, really hope we transform our community. You guys have a great new year and a good night. See ya.